Tariffs are a very hot topic in the collecting world right now, as well they should be. Big Bad Toy Store has finally weighed in on the subject with a more direct look at what they're going to be doing. So let's talk about it. If you're a customer of Big Bad Toy Store or have been one in the past, you probably got an email today, or by the time you're watching this, a day or two ago, regarding tariffs. It's a very long email. I am not going to read this word for word, but I do want to summarize a couple of the things that they say. They do mention that up until a few months ago, they had zero tariffs on anything that they sold because that was the situation they found themselves in. Several months ago, it started with a 10% hike for tariffs, and then they went up to 20, then 34, and then another 50, and so now it's a total, for example, of 125% as of this recording on Chinese goods. And Vietnam is subject to a 46% tariff. That's been reduced to 10% for the next 90 days as of this recording. The important part about this, aside from those particular numbers, those goods account for 90% of what Big Bad Toy Store sells. What that means is that stuff like this, and stuff like this all are going to be tariffed large amounts of money in the coming weeks and months if this continues to stay in place. And if that's 90% of what they have to sell, it's a big effect on themselves, on the collecting community at large, and we can expect other toy outlets to operate probably in a similar manner. I don't think anyone's going to be able to navigate their way through this without raising prices in some way. Big Bad does say that they're working with distributors, they're working with all of their shipping partners, doing everything they can to keep the cost as low as possible, to pass on as little of those costs to us, the customer. If I were in their shoes, I don't know how I would handle this. I don't know that I would handle it differently than they are. I want to be clear, I know that tariffs as a policy right now, it's a very hot, debatable thing. And whether you think these tariffs are a smart political move or not, that's not what I'm here to discuss. The fact is they are currently here, and it looks like they're going to be sticking around for at least a little while. So it's going to affect your pre-orders, both ones you've already made, because they haven't yet shipped over to the States yet, and ones that you will make in the future as long as these tariffs remain in effect. To Big Bad's credit, what they're saying here is that at this point, with the numbers being the way they are, they expect additional surcharges to range from 15% to 40% of the pre-order price. They did say that it could change as the situation, unfolds, but it sounds like they're trying their absolute best to keep as much of this out of our hands. They say multiple times in the email that they don't want to have to do this, but it's an operating cost they cannot get around. I understand it. I don't like it, but they've always provided me with good customer service in the past. I've had zero problems with them before, and I'll continue to patronize them, quite frankly. I don't like the idea of paying that much more for things I've already ordered, but that's it. The reasoning that this is happening is not them. The price of doing business is going up exponentially for everyone involved in the supply chain of these toys. If they were to eat these surcharges, it could put the business under. And I don't even base that on anything they've said. You look at the numbers that they're talking about. That's a ridiculous amount of money to have to take on all by yourself. They've been around for 25 years. And as far as I'm concerned, they've built up a lot of trust in the scene. And if they're making these announcements, I think there's a good reason for it. It's a shame that it has come to this. I just hate that something that I look to for escape and joy is being hit by anything political, anything foreign policy, whatever you want to call it. I think it's not something you want to have happen. I certainly don't want to have it happen. I'm glad that we're getting some numbers in this email. I'm glad that they're telling us things and showing us things rather than just raising the prices and staying quiet. They have explained some of the things that they were trying to do, and they said, well, this isn't working. When you get the email, read it over, check it out, and then if you do me the kindness of leaving a comment below to let me know what you think. I was going to do a live stream on this, but everyone's going to feel differently about this, I feel. because everyone's on a different point in their collecting journey, right? And this doesn't just affect toys. This is going to affect anything remotely imported. Physical media, a lot of that stuff is made overseas. Some of it isn't, but a lot of it is. And there's tariffs on even things from the UK now. So things like Arrow and other distributors out there, that's going to happen. I think this affects everybody in different ways, but it is certainly starting to spill over into our hobbies, which is like, man, it's a drag. It's a drag. But seeing it in black and white makes it that much more real. Gonna be an interesting year to 4 years, folks. Let me know below what you think. Appreciate you. But in the meantime, may all your card backs be straight, may all your grinds be merry, and may you be able to find anything you're looking for at any given time at a price you feel is reasonable. That seems to be getting a lot harder these days. Cheers. Extra special thanks to all of our Patreon and YouTube members. The support really helps.